yeah, that's all you gotta really know. I'm formerly a Street Fighter player. I played Street Fighter 4 and the previous titles, Street Fighter 5 as well. But I was quite disappointed with Street Fighter 5. Let's just say the animals are kind of out of the zoo in that game, and kind of didn't really keep my interest. So I actually picked up this game called Tekken, and been having fun with that. I actually picked up this game on release. One of my friends was talking to me about it, and he saw that I wasn't really into Street Fighter 5 as much, and recommended it to me. And I played it the first 2 weeks. Had a lot of fun. I think it's a great game even when you pick it up. But recently, in the last two months, I've been really putting, I guess, some work in, I guess, on Tekken, and just trying to get up my skill level a bit. I immediately recognized that I like to play Mishima characters, just because of the movement and the technicality, but also just the way they play, with their whiff punishment and etc. But that's some stuff we can get into. The purpose of this video is basically what I noticed when I picked up a Mishima character, just looking at YouTube videos and even Discord community, etc., was a lot of focus is on performing an electric, which is cool, but it's kind of like the curse of the Mishima, right? Because when you're trying to look for gameplay strategy or good tools or pokes or situations to build on, it can be very tough to find with Mishima character, especially with Double Jin, which is odd because there's a great amount of Double Jin players out there, especially most recently Kudan's, right? The world Tekken champ, and Ni putting in work with Double Jin as well. So this video is basically basic strategies, stuff that I've come up with or noticed watching those guys play, and stuff that I think any Double Jin main can use in their gameplay. What I'll also do is, for any of that sort of stuff, the Electric Wing God Fist stuff, the Wave Dash stuff, the Korean Backdash stuff, I'll put a link in the description below so that you can get a tutorial on that. There's a guy named MainManSwe, and he does great tutorial videos that really demonstrate how to do all of these techniques. And he's a really proficient Mishima player as far as execution is concerned, so he will answer all those questions. My focus here is really on gameplay and tournament results and tournament gameplay specifically, because doing 5 Electric Wing God Fists in a row, it's cool and all, but it doesn't, it's not going to make or break you doing well in tournaments, let's just put it that way. I think just being able to do 2 in a row is good enough. Yeah, so that's about it. So if you're really just focused on doing combos and the flashiness of the Mishimas, you can definitely check out his videos. They're awesome videos, really well edited. He's an awesome guy as well. And he does have some gameplay stuff as well, so I'll link you that. And also there's a combo compilation video by a user named Blankex, which I used to kind of see what Double Jin's combos are. It's really well put together and demonstrates all of his maximum combo damage, as well as like some of the more useful combos as well. So definitely check that out. So let's begin. So Double Jin is a Mishima player, Mishima character. I'm a Mishima player. And by definition, we kind of have to know what that means. So Mishimas traditionally, from what I can understand and from what I've been playing, doing, is really relying on good movement and with punishing with an electric. So the electric is very important. You have to get it down in order to play a Mishima. It is important, definitely, because it's really what makes them scary when whiffing buttons in front of a Mishima. So you kind of never want to whiff a button in front of them because of that ability. Other than that, key pokes that are very important are down forward 1 and while rising 4, down back 2, up forward 4, and the laser scraper, as well as 1-1-2. Now Deviljin, his 1-1-2 is actually farther than the other Mishimas, and that's because I think he kind of takes like a leap forward in the first one. And this is really crucial to know because you can actually play kind of like footsies. That's what I describe it in Street Fighter terms. So like if somebody whiffs something, you can actually, another Mishima, you can actually punish their 1-1-2 or just their 1 on reaction. If you see it and you're fast enough, you can actually 1-1-2 them, which is really, really neat. Down forward 1 and crouch dash 4 or while standing 4 is really important. The reason this is because down forward 1 is +8 on hit. On block it's safe. If this connects on hit, you can go into back 4, okay? Which, if they press a button, they get counter hit, you get a full combo. And if they try to sidestep to the left, which is what a lot of players do, which is something that I had to get accustomed to, coming from 2D games. A lot of the times when I was first starting Tekken against players, I was just kind of playing on this plane, right? This like 2D plane of like playing. But luckily I have a lot of great local players, and they're accustomed to playing against Mishimas, and in this game you really have to utilize movement to its fullest, and Mishimas are generally historically weak to sidestepping to the left because it dodges the electric, it dodges the 1-1-2 string, it dodges the health streak as well, and I believe it dodges the it dodges the down back 2 and the up forward 4. So it's, you kind of, in order for the wave dash to be successful, you have to freeze your opponent. Okay, this is very crucial. You can't just wave dash like a madman and expect something to happen out of it. Okay. On that note, techniques that I think that you have to learn while wave dashing are wave dash up forward 4, wave dash while standing 2, and and wave dash electric, but it's kind of, there you go. And back dash electric. Oops, one spot. There you go. So like just doing that. Okay, it's very important to really have that down, and sidestep electric as well. If you didn't get that down, look, I'm not a pro by any means, but I've only been playing kind of seriously for 2 months now, and I'm able to do a lot of these techniques, so it's just a matter of time before you can do them yourself. And it's helped my gameplay tremendously, especially with Mishima, because the threat of the electric is so heightened by the fact that I can do that your gameplay kind of changes, and it forces your opponents to play a lot more scared in ranges that they normally would feel comfortable. So it's very important. Again, if you want to learn any of that stuff, follow the guides that I'm going to put in the description below. So down forward 1, just going back to it, +8 on hit, leads to back 4. If it hits, again, if they press a button, their counter hit leads to a full combo. I'll demonstrate that right now if the combo hits. Where are we here? Okay, so I'm just going to put the attacks on counter hit so you can get the gist. So let's say you're playing and the down forward 1 hits, you go immediately to down back 4. That's the crumple state that they're going to be in. So you can follow this up with full combo. Even get the wall if you're lucky. Same thing for while standing 4. While standing 4 or crouch dash 4 +8 on hit. You can go into that immediately for a crumple state. It's the same properties. You can even follow up with an easier combo if you want to. But yeah, so these are very important combos to learn, and a good kind of trap, I would say, like a good offensive trap. Okay. To prevent people from sidestepping left, it's very important that you learn to use his laser scrapers now, which are performed by back 4-2. So this is going to stop your opponent from moving, which is where the wave dash comes handy, and where you can start doing your other exploits such as the down back 2. It's very important, this laser scraper string. Now the first hit is safe, the second one is actually punishable. But it's funny because when you watch a lot of Mishima players, Deviljin specifically, like Kudans, they often get away with the second hit. And I don't know if that's like a lack of knowledge or whatever the case is, but yeah, they often get away with it, or they're just pushed too far that a jab cannot reach them. So it's actually a really important tool in Diligent's arsenal, because a lot of opponents will like to crouch if they're thinking of electric, or just to stop them from sidestepping. Now, important thing to note, on the first hit, if the first hit hits, the second hit will hit as well. That's counter, actually. I'll move that out. There you go, so it's a 2-hit combo. A counter hit, it doesn't combo, which is important to note. I believe they're in couple state. I'm not sure exactly what you can get from that yet. If somebody can tell me in the comments below, that'd be awesome. And improve my gameplay as well. This is the whole thing of learning, right? What's important though is that if this 2 hits hits, it's actually great if you can go into the 3rd string. The reason why is that even though you're plus on hit, you can block, the 3rd hit can be blocked, but even though you're plus on hit, you're kind of still not in a position where you can take advantage of that. So if I set the dummy to, besides doing 1-1-2, if you do anything else other than 1-1-2, most likely you're going to get hit out of your advantage, which kind of sucks, right? And if the opponent knows that that's what you're doing, he can just duck and he completely avoids the 1-1, which you can hit confirm. I don't know if I mentioned that, I'm sorry. This is hit confirmable, so you can 1-1-2, and after the second hit, the 3rd hit is hit confirmable. And it's safe on block after the 1-1, but you're minus on block. So, something good to do after the first and second hit on the laser scraper is just to go into the 3rd hit. What happens is that, how can I record this? The opponent's going to be pushed back, but he can't sidestep the 3rd hit, and he cannot duck the 3rd hit either, since it's a mid. So he's forced to block the 3rd hit, which is not a bad thing. The reason why is because, let's see, what can I do to record that? Okay, I think I can do something. Okay, so I'm gonna record this really quickly. Sorry, bear with me, guys. I'm still kind of new to this training mode. Okay, so let's record this. Okay, so we're going to set that to record, and we're going to play. I'm going to get hit by the 2 first hits, and then I'm going to block the 2nd hit. The 3rd hit, sorry. Oh, I didn't set it? Oh my god, sorry. Let's have a look. Okay. Finished. That's it, we're good. Okay. Okay, you notice how I'm pushed back a little bit after the 3rd hit, and I cannot sidestep. If I sidestep the 3rd hit, I get hit. Okay. If I duck the 3rd hit, I get hit. See that? So I cannot sidestep, I cannot duck the 3rd hit. Okay. But on the 3rd hit, this again, if this is blocked, you can punish this. Okay. This is I'm stating it. You see, you can sidestep the 3rd hit if you're. I believe you can sidestep the 3rd hit if you're fast enough. Let me just test that. Okay, I can do it a bit faster. Oh, maybe not. Can I 1-1-2? Can't. Okay, so this is interesting. Test this. I guess it's depending on how you delay it. Okay, but in any case, what I wanted to say was, if you get hit by the 2 first hits, the 3rd hit you block it, you're actually in a pretty interesting range. The reason being is that from this range, if they whiff a button, you can actually electric them, because you're at a good distance from them. So you can actually whiff punish a button if they do it. So if you I believe, is it the same range as just a demon ball? If it is, that'd be a lot easier for me to demonstrate. Yeah, so you're about this range, a little bit farther, I'd say, because of the... Yeah, you're about here. This is actually perfect to demonstrate. So if they press a button, you can actually electric them. And you'll notice that Kudans does that a lot. After the third hit, if the first two hit, he'll immediately go into this and wait to see what they do. Or he'll backdash, and then dash electric if they do something, which is really important. Or he doesn't do anything, and if they're scared and they know that, he can go in for like a house sweep. So that's an actually really interesting strategy that you can do. Another strategy that's actually on that node as well is this button. So we discussed about this. If it hits, you can go into back 4 counter hit combo. But if it's blocked and you're at kind of this distance as well, you can like backdash electric their button if you see it, because this is actually safe on block and you're at a good distance, so you can backdash away. So if they whiff a button, you can electric them immediately. So that's where the backdash electric really comes in handy. It's for doing things like that, things that really put how do you say, like, that's what separates like top Mishimas from just like your regular Joe Blows. It's like doing stuff like that, because that's how you take maximum advantage of playing this type of character. Other things to note, just in case anybody didn't know, after up 4-4, if you run up, this is actually a really good poke. It's safe and it's mid, and that's really what starts his 50-50 game when he knocks the opponent down. But in case nobody knew, you can actually run up back 4. That's guaranteed. You'll see Kudans use that a lot. And actually, on some occasions, you can actually mix it up with a house sweep. I believe in one of the sets I was watching, he actually does that to JDCR to close out a round. And JDCR is looking for that guaranteed back 4. Thinking, oh, he's just going to guarantee back 4 me. But that can actually be a mind game. So yeah, so that's a thing of note as well. Something else I was going to talk about was, oh yeah, all of his punishes, you have to know them by heart. So 1-1-2, it's 10 frames. Back 1-2, 12 frames. Electric is a punish. I believe it's a 14 frame punish, correct me if I'm wrong. And then you got your can kicks, which are, I believe it punishes 15 or 16 frames. I can check it up right now. Let's have a look. Also, in this game, you have to learn frame data. Like, I'm a type of player coming from Street Fighter, I kind of didn't use it because kind of just play off feeling. I do that also in this game, but this is a game where it's really crucial that you need it. So I'm just going to check out the can kicks really fast. Yeah, so they're minus 15 punish, so anything on minus 15, that's punishable. Another punish for interesting moves such as Paul's Death Fist or Heihachi's really annoying launcher, the 4-4-2 launcher. You can actually punish them with this move, which is 4-3-4, which is really, really useful against Paul players that like the Death Fist a lot, or like the Demo Man. When they spam the Demo Man, it doesn't sweep you and they still go into the just frame. So the Demo Man is like the back, the down 4-2-1. After the Demo Man's completed, you can actually punish him with this, which is really good as well. Oh yeah, down back 2 is really, really good. It starts a lot of Oki, because you can actually do raw standing 4 plus 8 again. It can lead to that. Another thing to note is, after you start doing this a bunch and they realize that, oh my god, okay, I got hit, they're gonna be scared to press after that. That's when you can go for like house sweep into like your combo. So those are things to know. So this is just a basic rundown. I'm just gonna put that for now. It's kind of like quick notes of little strategies you can do with Devil Jin. I'll make another video demonstrating the different combos that you can do on the stages, because it's really important as Mishima to know where you are. Well, it's important for every character, but I mean to maximize the wall potential with electrics, because theoretically you should be able to launch opponents statistically higher, right? Because of the fact that you have the electric. So you should always be kind of like aware of what you can do on the screen. So for example, this stage, the basic combo is something like this. See, on this stage it wall spats, but on other stages it might not wall spat, so you'll have to adjust depending on that. I'll make a video depending on the stage, which combo to kind of use to ease that on the from mid stage. So on each stage I'll go through the combo that you're gonna want to do depending on the stage. I think that could be useful. And another video that I'm gonna do is analyzing the different Devil Jins, how they play. That includes Knee, Kudans, and believe it or not, JDCR, because JDCR, his movement is just so universal that it's crazy how it applies to Devil Jin and the rest of the characters that he plays, but it makes for an interesting Devil Jin, we'll just put it that way. Rather, like in contrast to Knee, which is a very traditional Mishima player, and Kudans, which is like kind of like a masterful Devil Jin. He uses all the tools, including even this kind of like counter hit, which you rarely see Devil Jin players kind of utilize to the maximum, as well as like frame traps, like I was saying, the down forward 1 and 4, as you see him doing a lot of that. And also the wave bash mix up, the raw standing too. He catches opponents a lot with that. This is actually something that's really good to practice. And on that note as well, I wanted to just say a lot of Devil Jin players, after they block a move that stagnates you, like say the Hell Sweep. So we'll do that. Let's make this Devil Jin do a Hell Sweep. Where are we here? Okay, here. Okay, a lot of Devil Jin players immediately they'll go for this, which is fine. But what you should do to maximize the damage is actually sidestep 2. That's actually does more damage. I don't even see Kudans doing that, which is interesting. So I don't know if it's like, sometimes it's better to just do something that's like, you know for sure is less execution required. You see, like I missed it there. It didn't say punish on the left. But if you can, if you have the time, if you have like, especially when you're thinking about it, you can actually get it. Yeah, I guess it's just kind of harder to do it. Or it depends on the, maybe it depends on the moves of staggers. Okay, so not every move can do it, but I know that for some cases you can actually sidestep 2. So it would be good to know to see which moves that actually stagger like that will allow you to get it. I believe Paul's demo manual will let you to get it maybe. So that's just something of note that I found interesting. Another thing that I want to do just to close this video off, again this is just like a quick little rundown, I'll get back into some further strategies. First, this is kind of like a test video, is this move here, which is not in the move list actually. So this is actually a wave dash, but you're doing a Tiger Knee after into 3, which gives you a running 3, similar to this thing, but it's point blank, which is, I find is kind of very cheap actually. And it actually puts you on plus frames, and it kind of makes the guy not want to press a button because of your great counter hit conditional and your electrics. But also, it pairs up really well with the laser strip, because they're going to constantly try to move against you to the left, as I was stating. So that kind of locks them in place, and then you can start your wave your wave dash stuff. So that's pretty much it for me, guys, for this first video. Hopefully I added some in-depth stuff instead of just talking about how to do electric with Godfist, which is important, but I mean, as far as tournament play is concerned, we're looking for traps, key strategies, cheap tactics, that sort of thing. So hopefully you enjoyed this video a lot. I'm going to be posting some more interesting videos. This is kind of like a teaser, I guess. Things to come. I'll go into depth about matchups, I guess, as they come to me. Again, I'm relatively new to the game, so there's a lot of stuff that I just simply do not know. And I'm looking to learn as well, hopefully by the comment section or wherever it may be. So let me know. And that's it. Cheers.